Good afternoon, guys. I'm just going to do a quick video about what I'm looking for the next week. Quite quick and quite basic. So dollar, we've just kind of really turned bearish now, which is quite nice to see. Hopefully looking to see if we can get some more daily retracement, or just depending what we are going to do in around this level. So far, I do have two areas mapped out. I do have this 4-hourly in here, and you can see this is the one that kind of swept at this high, and then we really kind of broke structure from here. So was kind of potentially looking to see if we were going to get pullback and then continuations, and then we could potentially have that low as the target. The second area I'm looking at is on an hourly. We do have this supply zone here. We did actually just take up that high. I do like this area a lot more just because there was a lot more of the mitigation trail that has happened. So it would make sense. We do have a lot of inefficiencies in and around here, but just because I want to see it doesn't mean that will actually happen. So I'm expecting potential levels of this area or this area, unless we actually have a confirmed break of this low, then it's actually going to be a pullback and then continuations from here. So for the time being, I actually do expect shorts. I'm looking for shorts. I'm either looking for shorts off here or I'm looking for shorts off here. So any potential kind of pullbacks is going to be what I'm going to be looking for. So excuse me, AU. AU, I do have a few areas that I'm kind of looking at the moment. We still actually haven't come down to this weekly area. I don't think that probably is going to happen, to be honest. I think we are actually just going to kind of continue and then actually push down a lot lower. So just for the time being, I do have a few areas. We did have all of this in here. We did actually have some nice mitigations. This was a really, really nice accumulation. You can see manipulations of the lows, and then we came up, broke structure. There was a 5-minute in this move from FOMC, and you can see we just came down, took out that wick. But unless I'm just being really, really, really precise, price never actually tested fully this area. You can see we do have just a teeny tiny gap just below it. So what I do potentially think could happen is we could maybe go a little bit deeper. We do have a nice 15-minute area down here as well with an imbalance, which I am looking for. So really what we could see is if dollar is going to retrace, then we could potentially kind of get moved back down to then go long. So a couple of scenarios. If price comes back up to the top, I'm going to be looking for sells into either this hourly, this 30-minute down here, which is the 50% of that area, or actually going a bit lower and actually potentially seeing if we could actually come in and test this 15-minute down here. If price does open and we start come down, I am going to be looking for the accumulation to play out and then potentially get some longs. So it kind of really does depend on how market opens. If price does want to kind of crawl back up, I'll look for sells because we do actually have a really, really nice 50-minute candle in here. So that'd be quite nice to see. And shorts, if not, if we do open bearish, then I will be looking for longs from this point, or if we can go deeper and look for longs, because then that means we could potentially come down. So we have 230, which is where market opened. So we could actually, in reality, come down and sweep this New York low before actually really doing anything. We could have that midweek changeover, which would be quite nice to see. So either potential Monday going into Tuesday shorts, or we have Monday, Tuesday going to Wednesday kind of longs. But I will like to see what happens with those. Euro pound high time frame, we've just pretty much been dying. So we have had this nice break structure from this moment in time. So if we're looking at structure, we've got this is kind of what we're looking for. So any kind of pullbacks into some premium prices to take this short is something I'm going to be looking for. Just for the time being though, we do have a 12-hour zone, which I'm looking at here, which is in premium. But if we actually break it down, we have actually came in, this line right here is actually a really old previous low. We can take this all the way back. So this is our really old low, which price did actually come and take out. So now really what I'm looking for is we invalidated supply. We have actually broken structures a lot. For me, there was no mitigation here, maybe on the 30-minute off here. But we have created this trend line of liquidity now. So what we could see is we do have some supply resting up here. We could come up, sweep those highs, then come down, or we could come down and then get that accumulation to then rise, because we do have this 15-minute order. That 15-minute will swept these lows, and we did actually mitigate into this demand zone. So this break structure is actually really nice to see. Equally, if we pull our fib from the low to the high, so this one big move, you can see that the fib lines up quite nicely, and the second target is actually kind of looking for where I'm looking to go from. So this is something that I'm going to be keeping my eye out for next week, is the short move down into here. Don't know whether I would probably place an order straight off here. I mean, 11 pips is not actually that bad in a reality, you could do. But I would want to see the breaker structure, the raid of liquidity, and the test of new demand and the continuations higher. Last, I am looking at GU. GU is very, very similar to AU in the sense of we are bullish at this time being. So whether price is actually going to want to come up into this zone, we do have a nice 15-minute supply zone, which we could actually run. We could actually just take these highs, we could run it, and then actually start coming back down. We do have this 4-hourly, which didn't actually get met. So we could in reality take out that low and then continue higher and have this as our target. That is something that I would quite like to see. Just because we had a reaction, we didn't actually break any structures. We didn't create a new high or anything like that. So that's kind of given me a bit more of a bias that we could actually kind of do something like this, or if we're actually going to come up one more time, come down and take this, and then we'd have that 1, 2, 3 strikes of liquidity to then actually continue, because the banks know people trade smart money, and sometimes when things are so clean, they really like taking it. So let's just say, for instance, this 5-minute move in here, there would have been so many people buying off the top of this open, and you can see if we follow along, price literally just liquidated it. So that is telling me that if something is really, really clean from news, yeah, like still have a go and jump in. I mean, like there was a 5-minute which actually came in here. We actually just filled this inefficiency as well on the hourly. So in reality, like that is true, and you do get some quite nice reactions. But what I'm kind of seeing is hasn't really been that much of a sweep here. There's a lot of inefficiency within all in here, which probably will actually get filled at some point. So that is kind of just my view of it. I would not be taking an order straight from here to continue. I mean, you really could do. That's not my style. That's not how I trade. I will want to just sit on my hands for a little bit on these. I just really want to see what the dollar's going to do. If we're actually going to do something like this, or if we're actually going to come up and come back down. But again, I'll do another video on Monday just to keep everyone updated on things. Sunday analysis can always change, just because you don't know how the market's going to open. So it's still good to have some sort of a bias, but it equally is good to kind of do your analysis going into like just after New York Open, around like 3 p.m. GMT, start doing some analysis and things. So if you guys have got any questions, please let me know. Feel free to fire away and I'll help you as much as I can. All right, guys. Thanks.